Big Z Reviews. So Game of Thrones is currently in its final season, and honestly I have a lot of mixed feelings about where they've taken it, and I thought I'd do a video about it, especially the last episode, which is really disappointing. And I expected to do my video I was going to do about this eventually. I wanted to do another rewatch of the entire series, which for the first like 5 or 6 seasons I rewatched like each what had come beforehand before the new season started. Though the last 2 seasons I haven't gotten around to it. And I read the book. Like I think I started reading the books. I think I got the paperback of the very first one, and I think that's like when I started. Then right around that, like right after the second book had come out too. I think like the hardback. I think I have the paperback of the first one. I have a hardback of the second one, and a hardback of the third one, the fourth one. And then like, so I've been there. I've been like waiting a long time to see what happens with all these characters. And I was going to do like a reread of books and watch the series and do like a big video about it, what I love about it, and what I didn't like about how they changed and different things like that. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. And honestly, I kind of felt like I'm at a point where I'm kind of separated enough that I knew what stuff that was going to happen, but I didn't like remember all the exact things, so I wasn't as annoyed as I probably would have been if I just read the books. But I really enjoy both the books and the TV show, and it's the first time where I'm really not enjoying it as much. So this will be full spoilers for the last season, and maybe for all seasons, I don't know. But like, especially like the last episode that just premiered on Sunday night. And I'm not sure when I'll be putting up this video. I might wait till like a little bit before the Sunday, I may do it Saturday, I might do it earlier, we'll see. But I didn't mind stuff they did with Night King, I like things that they did with the Night King. I definitely think that it was rushed, and I felt like this whole season had been rushed. I don't know why they only wanted to do 6 episodes. Like, HBO wanted to give them 10 episodes, and I felt like if you had more time, you could have set things up a lot better, especially in this last episode. Because, yeah, I mean, things for the Night King stuff, I agree. Like, I'm not with a lot of people that think that like, go like, Arya, what the hell is Arya killing the Night King for? But I kind of like that, but I think they had to do more with it. Like they had to show her like using her assassin training to get to the Night King to kill him. Like, I mean, maybe she should have like put on the face of one of the whites, like Bendrick Dondarrion or something. Could have like used his face and pretend to be a white, and so get close enough to kill him. And also could have something. Could have had Jon fighting the Night King and maybe losing. Maybe he's about to die, and Arya comes up and stabs him. So it's not just like Jon unable to get to the Night King, which is very unsatisfying, especially because the white dragon like is breathing fire in the stone, and it's just doing nothing. And then in this newest episode, they have Drogon, which is like the white dragon was supposed to his flame was supposed to be stronger, which is why it could destroy the giant wall. But in this one, Drogon's going around blasting it, and like things are exploding, and it's like I don't think that's how it would work. Like, I mean, it looks cool, but it's odd how like they have no consistency in it. And this whole season, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the stuff that happens is what George R. R. Martin told them he was planning on doing, but they didn't set it up. It's like they knew things they had to do and they had to find a way to get to it, and it falls flat without George R. R. Martin's writing. George very well might be planning to do the whole Daenerys burns down King's Landing, and I mean there is some setup for that. Like you've seen, but you have to, for her to go full Mad Queen Daenerys, like to go full Targaryen, they had to have more of a setup for it. especially in the show, this is a character that so many people love, and to go full evil is just it's bad writing. It's poor. It's stupid because it felt like they flicked a switch, and now okay, she's crazy now. Kill everyone, and like they didn't set it up enough. They didn't set up enough. They should have showed her killing more people or doing more things that are questionable. I mean, everything she's done up to this point, she has never harmed the innocents. She has punished slavers. She's punished rapists. She's punished traitors. She's punished like a lot of people, but she's never punished the innocents. She's never burned the innocents. And in this one, how they did it, they make her the most evil character in the entire show. Like, she's more evil than everyone else in the entire show. Like, I mean, maybe even like about evil than Night King. You know, it's like, but it's worse because she actually has personality. Like, Night King was just some sort of force that they never really explained. But, like, Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen, everyone loves her. And to just take this turn is a betrayal of her character. And there's so many other kind of betrayals of characters in this episode, too. You know, especially with Jaime. But, like, you've been with him for so many seasons, he's been going on this turn, and he finally makes it, and he immediately goes back to his sister to die with her. And they completely ignores all the prophecies involved in Cersei. And it just, for no reason, like, nothing, he could have cut out Jaime's whole section of the show, and it wouldn't have mattered at all. Like, he could have just stayed in Winterfell and with Brienne, and it would have been so much better. I don't get it. Like, I mean, it felt like, I thought they were going to do something like, he was going to go, and he was going to have to kill Cersei. You know, like, he was going to have to do the whole to save the realm from the Mad King again. But no. That's the whole thing. If he wanted to do this sort of turn, there's so many other ways he could have done it. If he wanted to burn King's Landing, there's so many ways he could have done it. It would have been so much better. Like, just off the top of my head, things that I've thought of is just that it looks. I mean, well, before I even get there, I will say it's gorgeous. The show is still gorgeous. Everyone that's making the show, except for the writers, are doing their utmost best. And that's what it's so like when you watch it, you still like it. Like, it's like, you know, even though some of the violence might be a little over the top, but it's beautiful and well shot and well acted, and it's just that the writing is horrible. Especially, I thought too that once Daenerys went crazy, you never saw her face again. So I felt like that she might not have been on Drogon. Like, I didn't get that. It's like the first, I'm crazy, I hear the bells, burned to colors. Like, after that, you never see her again. And I felt like, you know, if there's so many ways he could have done it that would have had shades of gray in her character. Because what D&D had her do makes her character irredeemable. Now, in the next episode, Jon Snow or Arya has to kill her. They have to kill her. She deserves to die. If she doesn't die, the show will suck. Daenerys has to die now. And it's like, I see in the previous episode, they're starting to do that, and I was like, they're going to do a Mad Queen Daenerys, aren't they? Those sons of bitches. And they didn't set it up well, but you can tell what they're going to do. And it's not surprising, it's just frustrating. And what this kind of reminded me of is the prequel Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. Like, you know, I hate the Revenge of the Sith movie. It'll always be the worst Star Wars movie ever. And that's because, even though, like, cinematically, it might be the most well-filmed and of the prequels, but I hate it because they made his character irredeemable by having him chop up little kids with lightsabers, hundreds of little kids with lightsabers. They even show the beginning of it. It's like the lightsaber goes on, because like, oh, and it's like that makes his character irredeemable. So that in Return of the Jedi, like when he's now a Force ghost and he's now like forgiven, he cannot be forgiven what he did. He slaughtered children. Like, so there is no gray. It's just completely black and white. And the same thing with Daenerys. She has now slaughtered millions of women and children and men and innocent peasants that just live in the city. And I mean, like, and they showed it. I mean, so like they took out their way to show everything that she was doing. So it's not like, and it's not like that there's no gray in it. She is 100% evil. And it just makes it so that if you had some sort of gray in her actions, you could still kind of root for her. Or you could still, the characters could have, I'm not sure about this. But no, there's nothing to not be sure about. She is evil and she has to die. It's frustrating. But here are some ways that I would have rewritten it if you had to have Daenerys take a turn and you had to have King's Landing burn. And one way to do it would be to have her just, when they're surrendering, not have her kill all the peasants, have her burn all of the Lannister soldiers, and then have her go and burn down the Red Keep. And then maybe while she's doing that, maybe like something else happens and the city burns, even though she isn't trying to kill the innocents. But I mean, Dragonfire, I mean, that would catch the city on fire. And two, I mean, they showed things like, it was really cool when there were these puffs of the green flame from the stockpiles of the Dragonfire, or the Dragonfire, but like the fire that her father really stockpiled, and Wildfire, not Dragonfire, Wildfire. And I think it could have been interesting is that if she, when she was just trying to win the day and kill all the soldiers, if she accidentally set a store of wildfire on a blaze and it caused the whole city to burn. Or they could have done something with Cersei, because Cersei is just pointless in this entire season. She just kind of stared out the window and drank wine. Like, I mean, she is the one that killed Missandei. That she should be targeting, and she didn't even get to see her die. Like, but I mean, if she was evil, if she had a plan that to so like maybe while Daenerys landed by the bell while they were ringing, and that she had a secret scorpion, the secret ballista set up to kill the dragon, or like something to set up to even to destroy the city so that it looked like she burned the city down, or something else, something sinister, something tricky. There's nothing interesting about what they decided to do. It's like they completely forgot the Game of Thrones, the idea of the Game of Thrones that they play, and like only the best one will win and then will hold the throne. They completely forgot it. It's to just have her go on a rampage. And it's just other stuff about the episode. I mean, he finally had the Clegane Bowl, and it was fine, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. And the things Arya did was just, I wish they would have used her more instead of just having her be a character in danger while you watch Daenerys destroy everything. Like, I mean, and again, Jaime was really stupid. But I mean, I wish they could have done something like if they did like maybe that she wasn't going to, the queen Cersei wasn't going to surrender, or she was going to destroy the city, and so that Daenerys couldn't have it, and then have Jaime have to kill her, or have Arya kill her, or do something interesting instead of just having the Red Keep fall on top of her. I mean, there's just so much you could have done to make it better, and I don't know why they made the decisions they did. They made bad decisions, and they're kind of ruining the end of the show. And it's frustrating because, I mean, what the last episode is going to have to be. They're going to have to fight Drogon and fight Daenerys, and they're going to have to probably kill both of them. And probably some of them are going to die too in the act. And the kingdom's going to be destroyed. I mean, I don't know if the Iron Throne probably is destroyed. They're in the Red Keep, so that no one's going to sit on the throne. It's just frustrating. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they were thinking. And I mean, it's funny. There was this rumor going on that, like, I saw on the subreddit of fantasy. There was some of this interview with one character that was like the head of the King's Guard, and then left to be like kind of like the head of Daenerys' Queen's Guard, and that he randomly died in the show. But in the books, he was still alive. I think Barristan Selby. but like he was doing some sort of convention, and I think it was Germany. It looked like, and they had people translating, and he said that he had talked to George R. R. Martin, and that they had he signed a contract where he wouldn't release the new books until after the show ended, and that once the show ended, they're going to release the next books. And I mean, it's probably not real, but if you were going to, if the books were done, the perfect time to release them would be after the finale. I mean, everyone's talking about the show. Then can you imagine the memes or the advertising? Like, you saw how D&D finished the story. Now see how the creator finishes the real story. And like, I can imagine that would sell. The books would sell out. It would be probably the biggest book release since the last Harry Potter book. And I mean, I doubt they're done, but if they were, it'd be amazing. I mean, I can kind of see that some of this stuff that they do, it might be what George R. R. Martin's going to do, but it's going to be better set up than they did in this. And it's just frustrating. I mean, I love the show. The show is like my favorite show ever. It's about, but I hated this episode. But then it's also filmed really well, so it's frustrating as hell. What you gonna do? Thanks for watching. You try out the replay from my head and subscribe to me in that Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z TV show review. Thanks for watching.